Welcome to a deep dive that might just change how you see the world.
Or at least your to-do list.
Right. We're looking at Buddhist ethics today.
Specifically, the 10 good karmic paths.
These fascinating Buddhist texts and study guides that you sent over lay it all out.
It's not just about being good.
Right.
It's about tangible benefits, from inner peace to maybe even some heavenly perks.
You ready to get enlightened?
I am.
All right.
What's so compelling about these texts is that they don't just preach, be good, get rewards.
Right.
They offer a practical framework, almost like an ancient life hack, for cultivating a mindset that actually leads to a better life.
Okay, so let's dive into this life hack.
Yeah.
We've got the 10 good karmic paths. Seems simple enough.
Right? Don't lie.
Don't steal.
Don't be a jerk.
Right.
But these sources get really specific about the nuances.
Yeah, and the payoffs are pretty wild.
Absolutely.
Like what?
Take, for example, right speech.
Okay.
Which is so much more than just telling the truth.
Right.
One text compares it to a superior treasure, almost like a secret weapon in navigating life.
That's interesting because we live in a world where information is constantly being spun, twisted, you name it.
Right.
How does right speech even work in that kind of environment?
That's where the nuance comes in.
Okay.
These texts connect truthful speech not just to integrity, but to tangible outcomes,
like
stronger relationships, greater influence, even material wealth. It's as if being honest and transparent creates a kind of magnetic force that draws good things towards you.
So it's not just about being morally upstanding.
Right.
It's almost like building a reputation as someone reliable, trustworthy,
Yeah.
which has a ripple effect in all areas of life.
Exactly. It's like the texts are saying that integrity becomes this key ingredient for success because it creates trust.
Yeah.
And trust is the foundation for everything from strong collaborations to inner peace.
Okay, I'm starting to see how these ancient principles can actually be applied in the modern world.
Yeah.
But what about something like right livelihood?
Right.
What does that even mean in a world of like side hustles and crypto and everything else?
Right. Livelihood is a fascinating one.
Yeah.
It's about aligning your work with ethical principles, ensuring that what you do in the world doesn't cause harm.
Right.
And ideally contributes to the well-being of others.
So is it saying we all need to quit our jobs and become like organic farmers or something?
Not necessarily. It's more about being mindful of the impact of our work.
Okay.
Are we contributing to something positive?
Okay.
Are we treating people fairly? Are we working in a way that aligns with our values?
So it's about finding that sweet spot where your passions, your skills, and your ethics all intersect.
Exactly. And the texts connect this to not just a sense of purpose, but also to tangible benefits. Like abundance protection from financial hardship and even respect from celestial beings.
Who wouldn't want that? All right. What other life hacks can we unearth from these ancient texts?
Well, one that really jumps out is the emphasis on non-killing.
Okay.
Or ahimsa, as it's called in Sanskrit.
Right.
Now, obviously, this means avoiding physical harm.
Yeah.
But the texts take it much further.
Yeah, I noticed they talk about mental and emotional harm, too.
Yes.
It's almost like they're saying that negativity, anger, even harsh words have a real impact.
Right.
A kind of karmic boomerang effect.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they connect this principle to some pretty remarkable benefits.
Okay, like what?
Protection from accidents.
Okay.
Increased lifespan. Even a radiant complexion.
Wow.
It's like they're saying that cultivating a mindset of nonviolence creates a force field of positivity around you.
I mean, who wouldn't want a radiant complexion?
Right.
But seriously, it makes you wonder, in a world that's so full of conflict and aggression, could practicing ahimsa, even in small ways, actually make a tangible difference?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And it leads us to one of the most fundamental concepts in Buddhism.
Okay.
Karma.
Right.
The idea is that every action, thought, and word creates a ripple effect, shaping our future experiences.
So if we're constantly putting out negative vibes, we're setting ourselves up for a whole lot of bad karma.
Yeah.
But if we cultivate kindness and compassion,
Right.
even in small ways, we're creating a more positive future.
Precisely.
Okay.
And this isn't just about some far-off future life. It's about experiencing the benefits right here, right now. Imagine a world where people were a little less quick to anger.
Okay.
A little more generous with their kindness.
Yeah.
What kind of impact could that have?
Okay. That's starting to paint a very different picture of how these ancient principles can be applied in our lives.
Right.
But what about something like right effort
Yeah.
So that's a bit vague, doesn't it?
It does. But the texts are surprisingly specific about what it entails.
Okay.
It's about cultivating a sense of diligence and perseverance.
Okay.
Not just in our outward actions, but also in our inner world.
So it's not just about working hard.
Right.
It's about working smart.
Yeah.
Like having that inner drive and focus to achieve our goals.
Exactly.
Okay.
And they connect this to some pretty incredible benefits,
What?
including overcoming obstacles, achieving success in our endeavors, and even attaining spiritual awakening.
Spiritual awakening.
Yeah.
Now that's a goal I can get behind.
Right.
But seriously, it's fascinating how they tie these seemingly abstract concepts to very real-world outcomes.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it speaks to the practicality of these teachings. They're not just about escaping the world.
Right.
They're about engaging with it in a more skillful and ethical way.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's funny how these texts can make you rethink even the simplest things.
Right.
Like right action. I always thought it was just about, not doing bad stuff.
Yeah.
But there's a whole other layer to it.
What I find intriguing is how they connect right action, not just to avoiding negative consequences,
Right.
but to actively cultivating positive outcomes. It's like they're saying that by making ethical choices,
Yeah.
we're not just playing defense, we're going on the offense in life.
Okay. So give me an example.
Okay.
How does that play out in real life?
Well, one text describes those who practice right action as being protected by unseen forces. It's almost like they're saying that by aligning ourselves with ethical principles,
Yeah.
we tap into a kind of cosmic support system.
So it's not just about feeling good about ourselves.
Yeah.
It's about creating a more positive reality around us.
Exactly. And they connect right action to things like good health,
That's
safety from harm,
Uh-huh.
even attracting helpful people into our lives. It's like ethical living becomes this magnet for good fortune.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah.
But let's get practical here.
Okay.
These texts talk a lot about overcoming greed, anger, and delusion.
Right.
These seem like, pretty common human struggles.
Yes, very.
How do they suggest we actually deal with them?
Well, they don't just say, don't be greedy or don't be angry.
Right.
They offer specific practices and mindsets to cultivate.
Okay.
For example, to overcome greed, they suggest practicing generosity, not just with material things, but with our time, our energy, our kindness.
So it's like by giving freely, we actually break free from that grasping, clinging mindset.
Yes.
That leads to so much unhappiness.
Exactly. And the texts connect generosity to some pretty incredible benefits.
Like
abundance, prosperity, even freedom from debt. Yeah. It's like they're saying that the more we give, the more we receive.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But anger, that's a tough one.
It is.
How do they suggest we deal with that fiery emotion?
Well, they emphasize cultivating compassion, not just towards others, but towards ourselves. It's about understanding the root of our anger, seeing the suffering that lies beneath it, and responding with kindness rather than reactivity.
So it's not about suppressing anger. It's about transforming it into something more constructive.
Exactly.
Okay.
And they connect this to some pretty remarkable benefits.
Like what?
Like inner peace,
Okay.
improved relationships,
Uh-huh.
and even protection from enemies.
Wow.
It's like they're saying that compassion is the ultimate weapon, disarming negativity and creating a more harmonious environment around us.
Okay, I'm starting to see a pattern here.
Yeah.
It's like they're offering these ancient hacks for dealing with very modern problems.
Exactly.
But what about delusion?
Right.
What's that all about?
Delusion in the Buddhist context is about seeing the world through a distorted lens, clinging to false beliefs and ideas that lead to suffering.
Right.
The antidote they offer is wisdom.
Okay.
Cultivating a clear understanding of reality,
Right.
seeing things as they truly are.
So it's not just about gaining knowledge. It's about developing that deep, intuitive understanding
Yes.
that allows us to make wise choices.
Exactly.
Okay.
And they connect wisdom to some pretty incredible benefits, like clarity of mind, freedom from doubt, and even the ability to see the future.
Wow.
It's like they're saying that wisdom is the ultimate superpower,
Okay.
allowing us to navigate life with skill and insight.
Okay. I'm definitely feeling a bit more enlightened already.
Good.
But these texts also talk a lot about rebirth.
Right.
Is that something we're supposed to take literally?
Well, as we discussed earlier, the concept of rebirth can be interpreted in different ways.
Right.
Some take it literally, others see it as a metaphor for the ongoing consequences of our actions.
Okay.
But the underlying principle is that our choices have a ripple effect, that extends far beyond this present moment.
So whether we believe in literal rebirth or not,
Right.
the message is clear. Living ethically creates a more positive reality.
Yes.
Both for ourselves and for those around us.
Yeah, precisely.
Okay.
And the texts are filled with vivid descriptions of the rewards of virtuous living.
Mm-hmm.
They paint a picture of a world where kindness, generosity, and wisdom lead to happiness, abundance, and even spiritual liberation.
It's like they're offering a glimpse into a world that's not just better for ourselves,
Right.
but better for everyone.
Exactly.
But let's be real. Living by these principles in our modern, fast-paced world can be challenging.
Yeah, it can.
Do they offer any guidance on how to actually apply these teachings in our daily lives?
Absolutely.
Like
one practice they emphasize is mindfulness. It's about paying attention to the present moment, becoming aware of our thoughts, feelings, and actions, and making conscious choices rather than reacting habitually.
So it's like hitting that pause button before we act.
Right.
Giving ourselves a chance to choose a more skillful response.
Exactly.
Okay.
And they connect mindfulness to a wide range of benefits, from reduced stress and anxiety to increased focus and clarity. It's like they're saying that mindfulness is the key to unlocking our full potential, both internally and externally.
Okay. I'm starting to see how these ancient teachings could be incredibly relevant in the modern world.
Yeah.
But they also talk a lot about meditation.
Right.
Is that something we need to be doing to benefit from these principles?
Meditation is a powerful tool for cultivating the qualities we've been discussing. Compassion, generosity, wisdom.
Right.
But it's not the only way.
Okay.
The texts emphasize that every moment is an opportunity to practice.
Right.
Every interaction, every choice can be a step on the path towards a more ethical and fulfilling life.
So it's about bringing that mindful awareness into everything we do.
Exactly.
Like even something as simple as washing the dishes can be an act of right action if we do it with intention and focus.
Exactly. And they connect this kind of mindful living to some pretty remarkable benefits.
Like
increased joy, deeper connection, and even a sense of purpose and meaning. Yeah. It's like they're saying that by living ethically, we're not just following rules, we're creating a masterpiece out of our lives.
Mm-hmm. I like that.
Yeah.
We've been talking about these 10 good karmic paths, almost like a checklist for good living.
Right.
But, these texts keep circling back to this idea that it's not just about outward actions.
Yeah.
It's about what's going on inside us.
It's that inner transformation that's key. The text suggests that by cultivating certain qualities like generosity or compassion, we're actually changing our internal landscape, which then ripples outwards into our actions and experiences.
So it's like working on your inner software, so your hardware, your actions, your life runs smoother, more ethically.
Exactly. And they connect this inner work to some pretty profound outcomes. For example, one text describes those who cultivate compassion as having a mind as radiant as the sun.
Wow.
Free from fear and negativity.
That's a pretty powerful image.
It is.
But how do we actually cultivate these qualities?
Yeah.
It's not like you can just flip a switch and suddenly become like a saint.
That's where the practices come in.
Okay.
These texts are full of techniques for training the mind, from simple mindfulness exercises to more in-depth meditation practices.
Okay, so it's like hitting the mental gym, building up those inner muscles of kindness, wisdom, and all that good stuff.
Exactly.
Okay, but how does this relate to the 3 kinds of bodhi we touched on earlier?
Right.
What are those again?
Those are like milestones on the path of inner transformation. They describe different levels of understanding and awakening achievable through dedicated practice.
Okay, so let's break those down.
Right.
We've got the bodhi of the voice.
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
It's about aligning our words and actions with our deepest values.
Okay.
Speaking and acting with authenticity and integrity. It's like becoming a living embodiment of what we believe in.
So it's not just about talking the talk.
Right.
It's about walking the walk, living in a way that reflects our true selves.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then we have the bodhi of karma, which is about taking skillful action, making choices that create positive ripples in the world around us.
So it's like understanding that our actions have consequences and choosing to act in a way that benefits not just ourselves, but others as well.
Precisely.
Okay.
And the texts connect this to a sense of purpose, a feeling of being connected to something larger than ourselves. And finally, we have the unsurpassed bodhi, which represents complete enlightenment, liberation from suffering and delusion.
Okay, that sounds pretty lofty.
It is.
Is that even achievable for us mere mortals?
It's the ultimate goal.
Yeah.
But the journey itself is where the transformation happens. The text suggests that even taking small steps on this path can lead to greater happiness, fulfillment, and a sense of peace.
So it's about progress, not perfection.
Right.
About making a conscious effort to live more ethically, to cultivate those inner qualities that lead to a better life.
Exactly.
Okay.
And remember, it's not about becoming someone else. It's about becoming the best version of ourselves.
We've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive, from the 10 good karmic paths to the concepts of karma and rebirth, and these intriguing levels of Bodhi. But what's the key takeaway for our listener? Why should they care about all of this?
The key takeaway is that these ancient principles aren't just dusty old rules.
Right.
They're a practical guide to living a better life, a life of greater purpose, meaning, and happiness.
It's like they've given us a roadmap to navigate the complexities of modern life, not by escaping the world, but by engaging with it in a more skillful and ethical way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the beauty of it is you don't have to be a Buddhist to benefit from these teachings.
Right.
They offer universal wisdom that can be applied by anyone regardless of their beliefs or background.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I'd like to leave you with this.
Okay.
What if you chose just one of these 10 good karmic paths to focus on this week? How might that shift your perspective, your actions, your experience of the world?
Remember, even small changes can have a ripple effect. So start where you are, experiment with these principles, and see what happens.
Yeah.
You might be surprised by the results.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Buddhist ethics. It's been a journey of discovery, and I hope you found some nuggets of wisdom to take with you.
Me too.
Until next time, may your path be filled with kindness, wisdom, and good karma.